Hello students, today we are going to discuss about two important organ of a eukaryotic cell, and that is endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. Before we start the topic, we have to understand what is the endomembrane system. So let me try to understand what is the endomembrane system. While each of the membranous organelle is distinct in terms of its structure and function. Okay, many of these are considered together as an endomembrane system because their function are coordinated. Here you can see nucleus is coordinated with the endoplasmic reticulum. This is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum product will be passed through the Golgi apparatus. They pass through the vesicles or a lysosome. So by this they all are interconnected. And that's why it is a part of endomembrane system because their work is or function is coordinated. The endomembrane system include endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome and vacuole. So each are interconnected with each other and that's why they are part of endomembrane system. Since the function of the mitochondria, chloroplast and peroxisome are not coordinated, means all the organelles which are discussed here, that is a mitochondria, chloroplast and peroxisome. Each organism is individual organism. It is not coordinated to anyone. Okay, that's why it is not a part of an endomembrane system and are not coordinated with the above component. These are not considered as a part of an endomembrane system. So you must be very clear which are the organelles are included in endomembrane system, which are not included in the endomembrane system. Let me repeat: endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome and vacuole. These four you can see: endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome and vacuole. These four are included as a endomembrane system or they are a part of endomembrane system. Whereas a mitochondria, chloroplast and peroxisome are not included in endomembrane system. They are individual organelles. So now let me discuss about the first organelle which is a part of endomembrane system, and that is endoplasmic reticulum, and in short it is called ER. Electron microscopic studies of eukaryotic cells reveal the presence of a network of a reticulum, okay, of a tiny tubular structure scattered in the cytoplasm, and that is called endoplasmic reticulum. It is connected with the nucleus, okay, and scattered all over the cytoplasm, and it is called endoplasmic reticulum. Hence, endoplasmic reticulum divide intercellular space into two distinct compartments. Okay, and that is a luminal, that is called inside the ER, and the extraluminal, that is called cytoplasm. Okay, by this the whole cell is divided into two compartments. Okay, the ER often shows a ribosome attached to their body, okay, or outer surface. You can see here, suppose this is the endoplasmic reticulum and here a blue region is the endoplasmic reticulum region with which you can see ribosomes are attached as orange color granules. Okay, so such a endoplasmic reticulum which are attached with the ribosomes are considered as a rough endoplasmic reticulum or RER, and here which is the greenish color do not have any ribosome attached to that. Okay, because here it is no ribosome present, it is considered as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So by this way you can say endoplasmic reticulum can be divided into two groups. Okay, there are two types: smooth endoplasmic reticulum, that is called SER, and rough endoplasmic reticulum, that is a RER. So let me repeat: the endoplasmic reticulum bearing ribosomes attached the ribosomes on the surface is called rough endoplasmic reticulum, okay, or RER, or in the absence of ribosome they appear smooth, and that's why they are considered as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum or SER. Here you can see this bluish color having a ribosomes is called RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the greenish portion of endoplasmic reticulum is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Let me go through structure of endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum inner membrane, you can see here this portion is a membrane bound, and the bag-like structure which is here, okay, so folds are considered as a cisternae. A specific name for such a folds are called cisternae. Okay, so internal structure, internal spaces is called cisternal space. Okay, and this whole structure, this folded structure is connected directly with the nucleus. Okay, and by this way nucleus and endoplasmic reticle both well connected with each other. And the specific structure here, a folded structure, is called cisternae. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is frequently observed in the cell actively involved in protein synthesis, because you know very well rough endoplasmic reticulum will have ribosome attached to their outer part. Okay, so here you can see the ribosomes are attached. Okay, so many ribosomes are attached on their surfaces, and that's why that is considered as a rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are very important platform for the protein synthesis. So these portion of endoplasmic reticulum to which ribosomes are attached, that is actively participate in the protein synthesis, and that's why such a ribosomes or such a ribosome attached endoplasmic reticulum will be found in the cell in which protein synthesis and secretion actively involved. Okay, that means RER is a frequently observed in the cells actively involved in the protein synthesis or a secretion. They are extensive in continuous with the outer membrane of the nucleus. Okay, here you can see this is the nucleus. Okay, then some nuclear pore is there on the surface of the nucleus. Okay, and this nuclear pore is attached with this nuclear endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and here you can see the compartmentalization occur. This is the inner side and this is the outer side, and by this way this endoplasmic reticulum is directly in contact with the nucleus. So the component which is formed inside the nucleus may be transferred via using these chambers. Okay, so this is the direct connection with the nucleus. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum, so you know very well smooth endoplasmic reticulum do not have ribosome on their surface, is a major site. Okay, this is not involved in the protein synthesis. Okay, you can understand because the protein synthesis require ribosomes. Here smooth endoplasmic reticulum do not have ribosomes. That's why ribosomes not contain, and that's why they cannot participate in the protein synthesis. That's why you can say that smooth endoplasmic reticulum will be found in such a cell in which active synthesis of a lipid occur. Means they do not require protein synthesis more, and that's why they will have a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. In animal cells, lipid-like steroidal hormones are synthesized in SER, or we can say smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And you must be know that all type of reproductive hormones found in the human are made up of steroids. Now let me go through some differences between SER and RER, that is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. So first difference, it does not bear a ribosomes over the surface of its membrane. This is the main difference. Here it will not have a ribosome on their surface. Okay, and whereas in this case, in case of a rough endoplasmic reticulum, it will have ribosomes attached to its membrane. This is the main difference. Now its main function is the lipid synthesis. SER main function is the lipid synthesis, whereas in this case main function will be protein synthesis because ribosomes are attached over here. And next is a form of vesicle and tubules, and here it is form of a cisternae and few tubules. Then here you can see in case of a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is usually found in periphery, whereas this is usually found deep inside the cytoplasm. In this case, it may develop from RER. Okay, it may be developed from the RER, means rough endoplasmic reticulum. From the rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is developing. It may develop from nuclear envelope. Okay, so this is the basic differences between RER and SER. It may be asked in 2 to 3 marks in board's examination. Another very important cell organelle of a eukaryotic cell is the Golgi apparatus, and it was invented by Camillo Golgi in 1898, and he had first observed densely stained reticular structure near the nucleus, and these were later named as the Golgi bodies after his name. Okay, they consist of many flat disc-shaped sacs or a cisternae, and which is having a diameter 0.5 micrometer to 1.0 micrometer. These are stacked parallel to each other, means stack over the stack parallel to each other. Varied number of cisternae are present in the Golgi complex. That is different from cell to cell. Number of cisternae is different from cell to cell. The Golgi cisternae are concentrically arranged near the nucleus with distinct convex, that is a Cs, or also called forming phase, and concave site is called trans or a maturing phase. So by this way, any Golgi apparatus, if you observe, it will be concentrically arranged, and the two regions will be there, a forming phase and maturing phase. So forming phase is also called Cs phase, and the maturing phase is called trans phase. The Cs and trans phases of the organelle are entirely different, Actually, it look like different, but internally it will be interconnected. Now, let me discuss more about Golgi apparatus by using this diagram. So, here you can see this is the nucleus, and it is connected with the endoplasmic reticulum. The product which is generated or a form or a synthesized inside the endoplasmic reticulum will be passed by using this vesicle or a transport vesicle towards the Cs phase first. So Cs phase will receive first from the endoplasmic reticulum, and that's why the Cs phase is also considered as a forming phase. Okay, and by this way this product will be passed from the cisternae of the Golgi apparatus, and it will ultimately reach to the trans phase, and that is called maturing phase. Okay, and finally it will be released out of the cell membrane or a plasma. Golgi apparatus principally perform the function of a packaging materials, okay, to be delivered either to the intracellular targets or secreted outside the cell. Both of the product may be packaged. Material to be packaged in the form of vesicle from the ER. You know very well now, the Golgi apparatus will receive material from the ER. Fuse with the Cs phase first of the Golgi apparatus and move towards the maturing phase, that is the trans phase. These explain why the Golgi apparatus remain in close association with the endoplasmic reticulum, and that's why it is very near to the endoplasmic reticulum. A number of proteins synthesized by ribosomes on the endoplasmic reticulum are modified in the cisternae of the Golgi apparatus. Okay, and before the release from the trans phase, means some amount of modification will be done inside the Golgi apparatus, and sometimes Golgi apparatus is the important site to formation of a glycoprotein, means glyco related component will be added to the proteins. Okay, and sometimes glyco repeat. This is your homework for today's lecture. Just you have to write down in your notebook and submit. And before we finish the lecture, let me summarize all the topics by using one animation video. So look at this video.
The cytoplasm of a eukaryotic cell is embedded with several membranous organelles, of which the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, and vacuoles are referred to as an endomembrane system because their functions are coordinated. The endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, for instance, synthesizes, processes, and transports proteins and lipids to the other organelles, as well as metabolizes carbohydrates in liver cells and detoxifies drugs present in the body. Microscopic studies reveal that the endoplasmic reticulum occurs as a network or reticulum of tiny tubular structures dividing the intracellular space into two distinct compartments. The luminal compartment, which consists of the space within the folds of the endoplasmic reticulum, and the extraluminal compartment, which consists of the cytoplasm that lies outside the folds. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum: rough endoplasmic reticulum, or RER, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, or SER. The rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes attached to its surface and is mainly found in cells actively involved in protein synthesis and secretion. They are continuous with the outer membrane of the nucleus. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum, on the other hand, is devoid of ribosomes and hence appears smooth. It synthesizes lipids and lipid-like steroidal hormones such as estrogens in the case of animal cells. Did you know that the smooth endoplasmic reticulum present in muscle cells is called the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and that it stores and pumps calcium ions? Apart from the endoplasmic reticulum, the endomembrane system also consists of the Golgi apparatus. Named after Camillo Golgi, it consists of a series of flat, disc-shaped sacs or cisternae stacked one above the other. Each cisterna measures 0.5 to 1 micron in diameter, and their number may vary in each Golgi apparatus. The cisternae concentrically arranged near the nucleus, have two distinct faces: the convex-shaped cis, or the forming face that faces the nuclear envelope, and the concave-shaped trans, or the maturing face that lies opposite the nuclear envelope. Though both the cis face and the trans face are interconnected, they are different. For instance, the cis face has a thin membrane, whereas the membrane of the trans face is thick. In a cell, the Golgi apparatus acts as a packaging and forwarding center. For instance, vesicles containing proteins synthesized by the ribosomes of the rough endoplasmic reticulum get pinched off the surface of the rough endoplasmic reticulum and fuse with the cis face of the Golgi apparatus. Here they are modified in the cystine before they are released from the trans face. This explains why the Golgi apparatus remains closely associated with the endoplasmic reticulum. In addition to being a packaging and forwarding center, the Golgi apparatus is an important site for the formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids that form a part of the plasma membrane.
In next lecture, we will learn about two important organelles, and that is lysosomes and vacuoles. So till that, goodbye.